shop to see a youth learning on the job?
I think the last time I was here, I focused a little bit on apprenticeship scheme. You're quite right. It looks like you're picking my brain, because one of the things I was going to talk about today, apprenticeship scheme is one of the major, I would say, mechanism that we have to look into. We used to have a little bit part of it in the past, but they've all disappeared now. Now, that is the reason why I said earlier that university is not for everyone. Now, I'll give you a typical example. Now, if I go to university to study mechanical engineering, for example, and you actually equally go to through a well set up engineering company for apprenticeship scheme, right? By the time I spend 4 or 5 years, okay, at university and be a graduate, by the time you're going to spend about less than that, 3 years to become a qualified apprentice. Now, I can tell you what you're going to do effectively, right, professionally, will be far more better than what I can do. Because I went through the theoretical part, because at universities we have today, less practical assignment, practical studying is being carried out. But you went through a lesser year, 3 years straight technically into focusing what you want to do. I wouldn't want to give my car to university graduates who studied mechanical engineering. I would rather give it to someone that went through apprenticeship scheme. To actually, because I know you have the technical know-how of exactly what.
But the reverse seems to be the case anyway.
That's what I'm saying, because the government really needs to bring that awareness back into the society, into the curriculum of education. Our education system needs to be really totally overhauled. I must say that I've had a lot of experts talking about this, and all this needs to be looked into. If you don't begin to embrace apprenticeship scheme and bring it back into society, then we're going nowhere.
All right, just hold your thoughts there.
Thank you.
Well, we'll take another short break, and when we return, we will continue with our discussions shortly.
Wherever and whatever your banking needs, Guarantee Trust Bank will be there, now and into the future. Because you're at the heart of everything we do. Guarantee Trust Bank, proudly African, truly international.
Welcome back. Let's take a quick look at some financial results. USC of Nigeria PLC has reported a profit after tax of 3.4 billion naira and a revenue of 37.7 billion naira in the second quarter ended June 30. The company's net assets also went up to 62.1 billion naira from 60.6 billion naira it recorded in the comparable period of 2012. And Fidelity Bank PLC also sent its second quarter result and has reported gross earnings of 62.9 billion naira, up from 53.5 billion it made in the comparable period of 2012. Its profit after tax also went up to 9 billion naira from 7.5 billion naira. Net assets grew to 164.5 billion naira. Well, we'll go back to that discussion, and Mr. Dele is still standing by. Thank you for sticking on.
It's my pleasure.
Well, here in Nigeria, I know that the federal government has, recognizes that unemployment is really a problem, a major problem in the country, and so far has tried to come up with various initiatives, towards curbing this menace. Well, before I get you to respond to this, because most of the schemes or policies they have come up with they don't seem to be working. Before I get you to respond to that, let's quickly take a listen to the president's speech at his 2013 budget presentation.
Thank you.
We still face economic disparities across the country. This constitutes an obstacle to sustainable development as it limits improvement in living standards, outputs, and social cohesion, which are key factors for achieving inclusive growth. Our challenge, therefore, transcends how to achieve growth. Objective is to achieve inclusive growth by identifying and developing job creation opportunities. We have mentioned the 3.5 million jobs we aim to create in agriculture and more jobs in the housing and construction sectors, solid mineral sector, aviation, and the creative industry. In my Independence Day speech, I spoke of the 80,000 to 110,000 jobs we are supporting young entrepreneurs to create through the You-Win program. We have received numerous testimonies from young men and women who have been able to expand their businesses through the program. We have just launched a second round of the competition targeting only women entrepreneurs. Across the country, our youth are developing new ideas and enterprises, and we must support them to grow. I launched the Community Service Women and Youth Empowerment Program under the SHOPI in February 2012. This is now working in pilot phases in 14 states and to be replicated in other states in 2 weeks' time. We also have the Graduate Internship Program, in which participating private companies provide one-year internship to 50,000 graduates paid by the federal government. So far, 700 firms and 20,000 young graduates have applied to participate in this scheme.
That was Goodluck Jonathan, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Well, Mr. Dele, you heard the President, what they have done so far. That was in 2012, and of course, they have to buttress whatever it is in 2013. It's a continuous process. Well, just before I get your view on why this has really not made any impact so far, do you think the government has really done enough?
I must commend the government on the SHOPI, which is part of the You-Win scheme. It's a good implementation or a proposal or scheme to say. But I would want them to look further beyond that, because I was opportune to, I think on China television over about a couple of weeks ago, where they were talking about the people that actually benefited from the Sure Pay, the You Win program. Now, it's one thing to give people money to be able to fund their business and begin to say, okay, I'm giving you this money, because that program that I watched was a concrete block making company in Abuja.